I didn't even know we were live. Can you imagine? YouTube did this to us. Good morning, welcome. I didn't know we were live already. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing today? As usual, on Wednesday, we come here and powered by the Visionary Parents Academy, we come to empower you too. If you are a visionary parent, I know that you are definitely you know what we are doing, you know, because it's holiday. We know how holiday can be. So we take this holiday month to empower our children so that they finish the holiday better than they were, not broken. And today I have Coach Inadu here with me, and we are still going to be wrapping up on our sex education series today. Not just that, we are also going to be talking about Pikin wey wan spoil go spoil. Teenagers have a mind of their own. So no matter what you do, if a child wants to spoil, the child will spoil. Let's talk about that today. So welcome today. Welcome, ma. Welcome, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So before we go into today's topic, which is Pikin wey wan spoil go spoil, let's talk a bit about holiday, sexual abuse. We're talking that you have a bit of an experience you will share that parents will benefit from it too. If you are watching me, if you see me for the first time, you need to go back to my videos to see. I used to have long hair, so I need you to comment, how is my hair? How does my new look? How does my new look? Hmm? I need to know if I should keep up this look or I should go back to my previous look. Thank you. Okay, mom, let's go.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone, depending on where you are joining us from. This month has been dedicated to sex education at the Visionary Parents Academy. In the course of this challenge, I remembered an experience I had. In fact, it never occurred to me until we were doing this challenge. And what happened was that I remember that it was one of the reasons why I was always very skeptical about allowing my boys to go and have holiday elsewhere. That was, in fact, I could remember that that was the root cause. You know, before this challenge, I didn't know. It never occurred to me. So back then, I should be around, it should be around 6, 7, 8 years. I wasn't more than that. So there is this particular person. The man was a postmaster as at that time. So each time I am sent to his place to go and get stamp, this generation may not know what stamp is, posting
Yeah,
letter, they can't relate. They may not
can't.
be, if you are not a millennial, you may not be able to relate or understand
Nah,
this.
nah,
So I will go there to go and get stamp or even bank drafts or something like that. Then that most of these things we used to do at the post office. So that particular day I went there, and my father was a clergyman. This man was also one of his members. So, and I could remember back then, it was after the experience I remember that we used to hear that people has labeled him as somebody that used to molest children, even though so many people doesn't take it serious. So I went on that fateful day, open and close. So he
yeah.
opened it, open it that I should come in, like your clergyman, the way they do in those villages, that your clergyman is here with us, the child of your clergyman is here with us. So he opened the place that I should come in, and I went in. And I told him what I was sent to come and get. Lo and behold, our dear human beings drew me very close. He drew me very close, like he was just welcoming me or complimenting me. And he has a way of saying nice things. And he just held my hand and put on his penis. Now, you know that I was naive. I don't, in fact, I can't even confront my parents as at that time to tell them that I am not going. I can't say no to my parents as at that time. So I never knew how to say no. Even say yes. I don't even know how to say yes, not to talk of say no. Everything was yes. Is it okay? Yes. It's not okay? Yes. Everything was yes. So, and he just put my hand, I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. All I could pray for was to just leave that place, or for somebody to just come in so that he could stop whatever it is. And somebody actually came in to buy stamp. That was the interruption that we had, that made him to now give me what I came for, and I was able to leave. And after that time, I knew that I will always tell my parents that I wasn't going to post office, but they won't, they never bothered, they never asked me why or whatever. So it was a near abuse experience that I did not even see it, but I knew that that thing made me to, I dislike any situation that would make me to be in a place with somebody alone. I never liked it, because after that experience, every man was a suspect to me. Every man was a suspect, their potential abuser. So I don't want to have any situation whereby I'll be alone with somebody and the person will now want me to do whatever, knowing fully well that I don't know how to say no, because I will see it as saying no as potential danger.
Yeah.
So, and if our children doesn't understand how to open their mouth and say no to something they are not comfortable with, is another danger on its own. Most of us, we were raised such that we never had that boldness to look into the eyes of people that were older than us and express ourselves clearly, especially when we are not comfortable with something, knowing fully well that that thing will not be comfortable with an adult. That thing is against
Yeah.
your whole value, but because you are afraid of saying no, you will just keep quiet, and silence now is
Yeah.
consent.
That is it. When you were talking about him putting your hand in his penis, it just took my mind back to when I was growing up, to when I had finished my secondary school. I was now just, when you finish secondary school, you want to get occupied. I was working in the place. There was one man there. And funny enough, the man was not just a pastor, he was the owner of his own church, like general overseer. I still have the name of the church in my head now, Grace Mission or something. I knew the church had grace and mission in it. And he was this huge man. He was was he an ex-policeman or an ex-soldier? But I know he was just in the first 10. That was exactly the same thing he was doing. He would tell me he was huge, bigger than me. And if you know me now, if you see me, you know that I don't have flesh in me. So I'm just maybe I should show myself. Okay, maybe now I'm beginning to have just a bit of flesh cover some things. But then growing up, even in my university days, I was very tiny, very lanky like this. So that man would just come and just grab me like this. You put my hand on his penis. And, one of the things I realize is I didn't tell him no, like, even though I wasn't saying yes to him, but the idea that, okay, let me collect small money from this man. He will drop me off maybe when I close from work. He wasn't my boss. My boss was someone that was from my the same clan, kind of. So it was like the building, so they sublet some rooms out. So it was like three companies in the same building. So he was a general manager. After he had retired, he was now the general manager to this particular security company. So the security company, companies that deploy security men to work and all of that. That was about, he would drop me at my junction. I'll just collect 100 naira from him or 200 naira from him. That was something that didn't make me like push him away. Even though I was pushing him away, kind of, I don't know how to explain. I was pushing him away. I didn't want it, but You see that 100 naira I was collecting from him, it was at least I'm eating his money. I'm sharing this because it's one of the ideas. I'm glad that was how it happened. It didn't happen more than that. It never went more than that because he would tell me, oh yeah, come and meet me this he will come and pick me. Nah, I grew up in a very not just strict home like that, but like I always say, I read a lot of books and had my ideas. So I knew what I wanted in mind. So he was not, maybe it was Nollywood influence because to watch a lot of Nollywoods then was the influence of eating his money, kind of, excuse me. And I see that point of let me eat his money, something that teenagers still do these days, young people do these days. I
Yes.
have a boy around me who he's girly in a way. So another boy was making passes at him. An older boy was making passes at him. And when the matter got to me, so I was asking him, why did you encourage the guy? He said, they're not like I wanted the guy, or I'm into like that. So I just wanted to eat his money. I wanted to see if I could collect money from him. This collect money from him mindset. Now, the
Yes.
other person I was talking about was a boy that is being girly, that another boy was hitting on him, and his mindset was, let me see if I can collect money from him. This collecting money mindset. I don't think we can talk about empowering our teenagers when it comes to sexuality, sex education, without even talking about money.
We
Because
can't stop talking about it.
we have this money and survival mindset, this money mindset that is pushing them, and before you know what is happening, the person feels, oh, you have eaten my money so much. You must come and
Pay
lay
for
with me, you must do it with me because you have eaten my money. Or the teenagers think, oh, I'm smart. I want to collect his money. I want to collect his money.
this
I
money
think
matter.
that,
This
yes, ma'am.
money matter, coach. I was with some teenagers on Sunday, and it's this money issue that was big on their table. I told them what are the most important things. I had what are the most important things to them. And you see that when they talk about clothing, they talk about shelter, next thing is money. And my question was that, what do you actually need money for? They said to buy clothes, to buy. I said that apart from clothes, are your parents not taking up responsibility to buy clothes for you? And it's a subtle way that one of the things that I learned very early, maybe that was one of the reasons why I was never, I never became a victim, because I don't like collecting things from people. Because one of the
Yeah,
things I knew was that if you are giving me something free, the day you ask me for something I don't like, I may not be able to say no.
yeah,
So I, even up until today, I don't like it when somebody wants to render a service and it's all free. Because if I'm not satisfied to an extent, I won't be able to express myself very well.
yeah.
So why are these children placing so much value on money above
That is it.
themselves?
Yeah,
Yes, I understand that it is both, most basically what they have been able to see maybe on social media, the environment, what this thing, their environment dictates to them. The picture
yeah.
they see, what they hear basically makes it look like money is success.
Yeah, that is it. That is it. Everything is about money. The world revolves around money. It's all about money. And it is even harder these days. It's even harder than this because, like in our time, what did we even need the money for? I don't, maybe just petty things. But these days it's tougher for these teenagers because they need money. I have a teenager in my church who I just made a post about her. When I joined the teens department a couple of months ago, she was one of those teenagers that I remember sharing about her in the Visionary Parents Academy. She's one of those teenagers that will make you proud. I didn't even know she was 14 going to 15. She was so mature, and then she's mature in size and in physical appearance, and she's mature mentally. I was so impressed when I knew she was in SS2 or thereabout. I was like, really? But I noticed that a couple of months ago, she's not been coming to church. She comes to church once in a long while, and then she comes super late. So I got asking her one of the days. I picked her up from school when we are coming back from school, and I dropped her at the junction. And I asked her, "Why didn't you come to church today?" And she said, I don't have clothes to wear. And these teenagers in church, they will say it's only one clothes I'm wearing. And I know that she is the one that has, should I say, the largest wardrobe among all the teenagers. Because I started recounting the teenagers she was saying that they would say it's only one clothes she's wearing. Those ones said they don't wear clothes as much as she wears clothes. So somehow my mind just went back to the fact that, oh, their school just gave them tablets the previous 2 weeks before, I mean 3 weeks before this first day, their school just gave them tablets, and she got a tablet for
Hmm.
being a high performing student. Oh, I remember the first time she came to school with the tablet, she was not in class all through. She was downstairs pressing the tablets. So I just put everything together. I knew tablet was the reason this girl was not coming to church. As she came to church on Sunday, I had to engage her because the few times she comes super late. So I had to engage her, and she know how she can be resistant. It's not like before she now said, "Hey, actually, I watch TikTok videos late." And I was wondering, okay, I know your mom will not give you money for subscription. Where do you get money for subscription from? These teenagers, now the pressure is more on them. They want to subscribe. So they are going to do anything and everything just for them to get money. So the culture of, oh, let me eat his money, let me eat his money, that culture, in fact, it will become tougher now. That culture will become realer now than even when we
Growing
were
up.
much younger.
And that
Yeah.
is why
Lucky,
discipline and contentment is one of those things that can help. Even as we discuss sex education, self-discipline, self-control is one of the big factors that can help any child to survive this age. And
absolutely.
self-identity and self-worth is another thing that we must teach our children. When the value they place on themselves is not a function of how people see them, is how they see themselves. If they are placing value based on the standard of the world, if they define success for themselves, by themselves, and not by the definition of the social media, and not by the definition of whatever they have read or what their friends are saying. Just like I told my teenagers on Sunday that whatever you are going through, your friends are not the best person to counsel you, because they are also going through the same thing. So
Yeah.
they don't have the experience to come and say, if they are talking from experience, which experience they then get. So but if you are talking to somebody that is more superior, somebody that have gone through and they have their success story, those are the people that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Contentment is one of the things that is very important for all of them. So, and one thing we want to encourage parents is teach them contentment.
Yeah.
And you see some of these
Absolutely.
children that they are asking for more clothes, they don't have enough clothes. It's not that they don't have, it's just because there is one particular one that they feel that is not in their wardrobe that they need to get. And this thing even still affects parents. And you see some parents that they will always buy clothes every weekend. Why? Simply because they believe so much that their life depends on it. That's what
Yeah.
people will use to rate them. That's what will make people to see them in certain perspective. So if parents are modeling that, the children will take from them.
Definitely.
And one thing is
Definitely.
that the danger is that the moment a child believes so much that money will make them to be who they want people to see, they will fall into the trap of this pedophile, because they will already
Definitely.
know that you need money, you need a better
Yeah.
phone. Regardless of the phone their parents gives them, they want a better one.
Not so. That people are using iPhone and your parents are giving you Infinix or Techno or even Samsung. For what now? When the big girls and big boys are using iPhone. So that was it. But luckily for me, I got admission. I know that I did not continue in the environment with the man. If I had continued in the environment with the man, probably maybe something would have happened. And the man was this huge, huge. Maybe something would have happened. I was lucky I didn't continue with the environment with the man. However, I had a case, like I said, I was going to share. One of the things, that is why I always say to parents that when it comes to sexual abuse, really, what happens to younger children most times, like what happened to me, I think I was within the age of 8 or so. I had no idea. I had no clue. I didn't even know what it was all about. That was it. My grandmother had a stepbrother who was not with her. So I remember my grandma who used to pray every day. She would pray, pray, pray. She would leave everything she had to pray for. She would pray for her brother, her stepbrother to come. You know how these grannies are, the only brother. That was the only surviving brother. So she'll be praying for the stepbrother to come back to, and the stepbrother was doing far away. That was the stepbrother eventually came back. I know each time the man came back, then the man had two sons and he was not with his wife. He just had an irresponsible life then. I was young, so I didn't have the picture like that. So but I knew that each time the man he would just be gisting me like where he was in this particular city before, what he used to do, how he used to carry girls, how all these small, small girls that used to hawk things, they'll carry things on their head to hawk, how sometimes they will come to his room, he will buy off all their things, he will have sex with them. He would just tell, I was too young, I didn't have any idea what he was talking about. I didn't even know what he meant. He will say it repeatedly every single time. That's the only story he was telling me. The story did not interest me, and I didn't even know at all what he meant or what he was even talking about. So one day he said to me, how can you be like this? I've been telling you, see what I used to do to them. You didn't even ask me to do it to you. You should ask me to do it to you now. And they said he was going to buy something for me. I was still very young, and that was it. And okay, do it to me now, what you used to do to them. That was basically it. But I had no idea. I didn't even know. And I want to believe that parents these days are not so ignorant. I want to believe that parents these days, they take further, they go further to tell their children things. This is why I always talk about grooming. I know there are different ways pedophile strike is not only about grooming. There are some like we didn't come last week. Apology. It was graduation ceremony. We had a lot of things to do. One of the schools I even went to speak, I even had my video recorded. My intention was to post it here. I even regret because my first impulse was just to have my daughter record me live on YouTube while I was speaking, or even live on Facebook while I was speaking. But because I just got a memory card in my phone, I was so sure the memory card was going to do me the good. So I thought, okay, record so that I can maybe cut small clips to share. Unfortunately, now the memory card didn't do me some good. After the recording, I saw the video. By the following day, I was going to compress the video. I didn't see the video again. The video, I think, had virus or something like that. I don't know. So I'm still battling with the memory card till now, and I bought it a lot of money because I was assured that this one is definitely good. So last week we did come apologies. So the other week, I remember Coach Ellen shared the story of a girl who was raped, not because she was groomed. She was not groomed like grooming. She just went into to collect her phone, and that was how the guy just did what he did to her. Enter the room, collect your phone, you came to collect, and that was it. But in my case, it was not like that. It was grooming. I didn't even realize it. Now, this is why I always tell parents that you teach your children to protect their senses. Sometimes I wasn't even curious. I had no idea what it was. It was something like, okay, someone was trying to make me feel dumb. I've been telling you something. You're not telling me to do it to you. Okay, do it to me now. What is the big deal? Complete ignorance. So I was with my grandma. If probably I had a system of accountability with my grandma, let's say at the end of the day, I meet my grandma, I talk to my grandma. I don't even know now what would have saved. I don't know what would have saved the situation really, but I know that I was just an ignorant child. I had no idea. It was not like, oh, force pin you down, all of that. It was just softly telling me, and this is how he used to do it. This is how he used to do it. He will give them money. Even then, he will give them money. They will buy biscuits. It didn't cross my mind to say, oh, give me the money and buy biscuits. I just was completely blank. I had no idea, nothing. So when he realized that he's been talking about this thing over and over again, and this little girl is not playing game, he had to come point blank. And now it was not the same day he said it point blank that he did it. because I remember he had to strategize. He had to say, okay, it was like this, it was like this. And this is why we also teach our children from small to be smart, so be at alert. When we tell them to look out for red flags. When someone is telling you, okay, and when grandma is not around, we can do it. That should have given me some kind of idea. Why does it have to be when grandma is not around? Like Coach Nado has said, growing up, not now, children were not allowed to talk. Yes was yes. Jump and we are all jumping, everything. Now, this is why I'm always of the opinion, like a parent asked yesterday in the group, her son in the Visionary Parent Academy, her son was giving something in church, and her son didn't like the color. So he went to change it. And, you know, normally he went to ask for a change. It is only normal, cultural, typical, or should I say African or Nigerian, for us to start calling that child, you don't have contentment, you are ungrateful, ingrate like you, a sports child. It's only normal for us to start calling the child names. But hey, as an adult, I'm glad Coach David said something that she herself, she doesn't drink Coke. So she drinks Fanta. So she goes out and she's giving Coke. She's going to say, please, I need Fanta. Can you change it to Coke? So why can't a child do the same thing? Why do
Except
we
there's
always
no
see that?
option.
Except there is no option, or except the child is being, should I say, mannerless about it? The child is just being,
Rude.
he's being
It's not
rude
polite.
about it. He's not, thank you, man. The child is not polite about it. Then we cannot say, okay, no, you are being a sport brat right now. But when the child is being polite about it, we should encourage our children to be able to speak up. I don't like this. It's not I don't like this. Oh man, please, can you give me the other one? I have a preference for that. So what is the big deal? What is the big deal? How does that make the child a sports child? How does that make the child a mannerless child? How does that make the child an ungrateful child? Okay, ma, I get you. You need to get some things done. It's fine, ma. You can just step away. So how does that make the child a bad child, a mannerless child, an ungrateful child? It doesn't make the child like that. So when we keep having our children, not letting them speak, not letting them talk, a lot of things will happen. They can't say no, and they can't even come to us to talk to you. So that was my story of sexual abuse. And it didn't happen once, it happened twice, because I didn't tell anybody. It was not a big deal. So I remember after then, I think I still went to the farm with him, with my grandmother, and I went to the farm. When my grandma would send me to the farm alone with him. And it was just, I think it happened like twice or so. It happened like twice or so. I remember correctly, these things happen. And like Cordinando was saying, that it probably was one of the reasons she did not allow her children to visit much. It happened to me too. It happened to me. And we don't always realize the effect of child sexual abuse on children. It hurts their self-esteem. As they grow older, they begin to know better. They feel dirty, a lot of things. If I had to share, maybe when next year when we are doing our reparenting ourselves challenge, I'll have to share some of the things I had to do to be a better me, because for a long time it was just like you would not feel happy with yourself, you would not feel proud about yourself, you would just feel it's a lot. So, and I do hope that this month that we have dedicated to empowering our children, to make sure our children don't fall victim, whether they are young children, they don't fall victim of sexual abuse, or they are teenagers, they don't even also fall victim, or they just make sure they are not running after dating until a certain time when they are supposed to. I do hope that you have been following us now. This is our fourth class for this month. This is our fourth class for this month. This is our fourth class for this month. So if you have missed any class, please go back to all our previous classes and catch up. And guess what? We have a program coming on in August, from August 4th, the self-led mentorship class. The self-led mentorship class for your preteens and your teenagers, for your 8 years to 17 years old. We are going to be teaching them a lot of things they need to know. Firstly, we want to emphasize on self-identity, because one of the things, truth is, if children know who they are, when we talk about who they are, it's not about, oh, the career because I realize that when we talk about who they are as children, there is all about career, career. No, I tell my children in church that see, you are intentionally, or you were intentionally crafted, everything put in place. I ask them this question. I say to them, do you think you were just you were just crafted for you were just crafted for nothing? Think about the intentionality that went into crafting you. Like seriously, look at the color of your eyes. Look at the teeth in your mouth. Look at the strands of hair on your head. Even your nails, your fingers. Then look at your skin. Everything about you. If you were an artwork, how long do you think it would take you to create you? Then look at your internal makeup. Then look at your mind. The regular artwork that is made, it may not take them, they don't have life. They don't have life in them, the regular artwork made. No life in them. But you were made intentionally. Why do you think that is so? We have this conversation because children need to understand their identity, need to understand who they are. When your child understands his or her identity, understand who they are, understand their purpose, understand their vision, understand their strengths, understand their weaknesses, understand the assignment they have, and understand the possibilities around them, understand the distraction, the things that can hinder them from reaching their assignment. When your child understands that, I tell you, your child will behave better. When your child understands that it is about them, it is about them. This is what I say in the visionary parents every single time. It's about your child, it's not about you as a parent. So I see parents all the time. It's like, what will people say? What will people think? My child has to look in a certain way. They have to be in this. I know it's the pride of every parent for our children to be high flyers, for our children to behave, and all of that. But the truth of the matter is, it is your child's life. Now, when you help your child understand the fact that it is their life, it is their responsibility, you help them understand that every choice they made today has the way of impacting their future. And you help your child understand that your future is the big picture, not even today. Because today, you just have about 18 years to be a child under me, or 21 years in Nigeria when we pay school fees and do all of that. After that, you have over 70 years to go. It is your life. When your child has this realization, I tell you, you are going to, you see, your clash, your headache, it is going to be greatly minimized. Now, this is one of the things we want to achieve with the Self Leadership Academy, the self leadership class for preteens and teenagers. Because many times children don't understand it is their life. They feel they are doing their parents a favor. I shared this story in the Visionary Parents Academy. So one of that teenagers in my one teenager in my church. So I live in Delta State. So they were supposed to go to another region of Delta State to participate in activities and all of that, preparation to for camp. And so when I saw the teenager, I was asking, they said she didn't go. Why? Because she was angry at her mom. Her mom said something to her, she was angry. So because of that, she didn't go for the participation. She didn't go for the program. Wait, this was a rehearsal that would take her to camp. She goes to camp, she gets opportunities, she can get scholarship, she can get recognition, she will network, she will meet people, she's growing herself because your mom said something to you. I am just waiting for her to come back. I don't know if she will still go to camp. I know for a fact that they are leaving next week Sunday, which means I may not see her, and they will not come back until the other week Sunday, which means I may not see her for another 3 weeks. I am impatiently, not patiently, because I cannot be patiently waiting for her. I'm impatiently waiting for her to come back, and so that we can have it sorted out. Because your mom said something to you, you are not comfortable, then you will throw your life away. You will throw your life away. But do you blame
You
these
miss
teenagers?
opportunity.
You will miss opportunities. I
Life
don't get you.
opportunity.
Wait, I don't get you. But do I blame these teenagers? I don't blame them,
No.
because we raise them to feel that it is about us, the parents.
Yeah.
We spoon feed them. we could put them around bubble. We don't allow them to take consequences for their actions. So they don't realize it's about them. We use the word because I said so. We are always forcing them. We force them to do things because I said so, because mommy wants so. Really? So your child will never understand that it is about them. Now, this is one of the things we want to do in the month of August. We want to partner with you as a parent. We are not taking the responsibility of raising your child away from you. We want to partner with you. We want to help you raise. We want to come as a mentor to your child. To teach, let your child know that it is their life. It's about them. They are on a mission. They are not mistakes. They are vessels. They are global leaders, global champions. That is what we want to achieve. And while we are achieving that, while we are doing that with your child, we also want to invite you to join our challenge, helping your child understand their self-identity challenge that will have ongoing in the Visionary Parent Academy for the month of August. When you pay for your child to register for the self leadership class is 15,000 naira. For the challenge is 10,000 naira. That is 25,000 naira. But if you register yourself and register your child, you just pay 20,000 naira only. So you be in the academy for the month, where your child is also in the mentorship class for the month. So when your child is in the mentorship class, you are also in the academy reinforcing what you are learning, creating a structure that will outlive this summer holiday. So you want to join us, it promises to be super empowering. Let yes.
All
So
right.
if you are okay, okay, so
All
that
right.
is it about it.
Okay, ma. In respect to our sex education, I also want to emphasize that our children needs to know, we should teach our children modesty. Modesty is in dressing. One of the controversies I had with children on Sunday was that they believe so much that they were dressing because it's comfortable for them. And I told them that they should go and sit down and look deep. It's not about comfortability that will make you to wear dresses that all your navel and tummy will be outside, all your breast will be falling out. It's not comfortability. It is just because you are responding to something. Maybe that's the trend and you don't want to miss out. And I asked them, who actually is buying these clothes for them? What is their own family value? So our parents needs to also help us so that these children will understand what modesty is. There is minimum requirements for them to, when it comes to dressing. We are not talking about being religious, but there is minimum requirement that even somebody that is blind, we know that this person is not dressing well. If you are wearing clothes, wear the kind of clothes that the sensitive aspect of a woman will not be revealing. There are certain aspects of a woman that once it's not covered, it sets you up for the kind of unhealthy attraction that you don't intend. So they were arguing that, am I saying that they should dress because or they want to please people? It's not about pleasing people. It's about you not dressing to set yourself up. It's
Yeah.
about yourself. You are dressing to save yourself. You are dressing to secure yourself. It's just a way for you to make sure that you are not positioned in a situation whereby somebody will think that the next person I want to rape, the next person I want to abuse will be you. Yes, we understand the fact that there are some people, regardless of how well dressed you are, they are still going to be the demon that they are. We are not unaware of that. We are only saying that these are just basic things that we can do on our own just to secure ourselves. A girl child that dresses in an inappropriate way, people, our society will end up saying that is the cause of it. That's what
You
the
know,
person will hear. Yes, ma'am.
this is. I think I've shared this a voice note all through our sex ed class will end tomorrow. Challenge will end tomorrow in the Visionary Parent Academy, and I've emphasized this thing when we talk about makeup and dressing for our teenagers. I keep saying that we are not saying that the teenager that is being that was a victim did something to make them a victim. I'm saying that, see, mindset, we have a kind of mindset in this part of the world. The mindset that makes us see someone, even you as an adult, once you see a boy sagging, the hair. Okay, the other day, I don't
Mob.
remember, I saw a boy wearing waist bead, and I was talking about it. Somebody was telling me, that is their sign, oh, that is their symbol, that is their same sex. That is how they attract same sex. That's one of the things they do. I remember one time I went to Oglia when I still was in Lagos. Then this same-sex relationship had not been had it was not like this. So I saw the guy, she just wore something like a muffler, and the way he was walking, I didn't see anything. Like I didn't know it was already a thing in Nigeria then. So I was now talking about it. Someone was now telling me, if it's from 6 p.m., then the boy was a male prostitute. I said, yeah, it was from 6 p.m. I went out and my husband and I were coming late. I was just waiting by the car for him. And I said, yes, so it actually may be not so. There are some, I have teenagers, because they are girly, when they go out, they get to be hit on because they are girly. It doesn't mean they are attracted to the same sex. They are not attracted to the same sex, but just because of the way they are girly, people just think, oh, this one, he's into guys like him or he's into girls like him. So what am I trying to say? Mindset runs deep. So if you have a girl child who dresses inappropriately, okay, maybe not so inappropriately, who dresses in a way revealing their body part and all of that, it may not be that the girl is hot. It may not be that the girl is wants to have a boyfriend or is already dating. I call it an invitation to treat. It only means that it's just the mindset of the people. So how many people can you go and start saying it's not like this? So your child or you as a parent are explaining to.
You go
You can't
explain
explain to
tire.
anybody. You will explain tire. So the best option for you is just to have your child and then just save them, prevent them from situations where they will have to explain. I mean, I always say this thing. I remember one time I was listening to a radio program, and the host was saying that, talking about this thing, something came in, and I think there was a confession. The rapist said the way the girls were dressed attracted him or something like that. So it was a call-in program. And I asked my question that, okay, is a call-in program. I know that the way a girl is dressed is never an excuse. It is never an excuse. After all, you go out, you see fancy things. Why don't you grab them because they are just within your reach? You don't grab them, so it's not an excuse. But for the girl, let me ask you a question. If you are told that if you have a hardened criminal and the hardened criminal comes to confess and the hardened criminal says that this building that is dilapidated, it is where we hide. We hide there when we want to operate. This is where we hide there, we go out, we take our victims and we drag them in. I say, will you pass that road again? For the longest time ever, you will not pass that road again. Even when maybe the building is sold, is reconstructed, you see activities going on there, you still want to pass there, your mind will remember, you remember, this is the place. So you still have that, you still be a bit skeptical. I said the same thing. So you will not wait for it to happen to you. You will not start arguing with them that, I will pass any road I like. It's government road. I will pass. It's not your road. I will pass. You will not argue with them. You just want to keep yourself safe. So the same thing applies to dressing. Since some of them say it's the way you dress as a girl that attract them, then why are you arguing with them? You don't need to argue with them. Cover up. I was asking my teenagers in church, what will it actually take you to cover up? What does it take you to dress properly? What does it take you to cover up? I was asking them, and then told me they were arguing with you. They were arguing with me. They were
They
arguing with
argue a
me.
lot.
Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing that. So, I've shared, Coach Nando has shared her inner abuse story, I've shared my story, and I've shared lessons from my story. And I said, we have similar lessons, because we didn't have parents who could talk to. Me, I was with my grandma in the village, and when we didn't have that kind of talking. My grandma was a grandma, typical nice grandma, but I think I was super naive, and I don't remember ever sitting my grandma down to talk. It's just like normal thing, no thing. We don't sit down to gist and all of that. So all
Up
that
till
was
now,
not
till my parents passed on, they never heard this from me.
true.
My
Even me,
my siblings, if they are hearing it, I'm sure they will hear it from this video now.
yeah,
Now,
me too.
and this is one of the reasons why parents, we need to ensure that we allow our children to be able to talk freely, to discuss anything with us.
Yeah,
If it happens to them, if they experience a near abuse and they are silent about it, you may not know how they will respond to it.
yeah.
Now we are able to trace it back now that this is one of the root causes of the way we are overprotective and some other things that has happened in our life. You don't know how your child will respond to this. What will be the
Yeah.
after effect in them? And that is one of the reasons it is very important for us to ensure that they talk to us on daily basis. Let them share their daily experiences with us so that we'll be able to guide them. We'll be able to tell them that, see, walking along this side is dangerous, because everything accrues for this generation. Everything accrues.
Now so
Everything is fun. Everything is content. So, but if we are able to help them to be able to discover that, hmm, yes, it's good for you to create content, but watch your back. Just like our people
that
will say, egungun be careful, na express you dey enter.
that's
So
what you
they
did.
should they should be able to get to a point whereby they can discuss everything with us, and we'll be able to guide them, and we'll be able to read the unspoken word. Even when they are talking to us, the one they did not say, we'll be able to pick it.
And you see, that money mindset, let me eat his money, let me take his money, it has led so many teenagers into. I shared that was the boy that was saying another boy was hitting on him and he was saying, I wanted to collect money from him. That was a boy. I wanted to collect money from him. So you see, this let me eat his money, let me collect his money has led so many teenagers to doing things that they didn't plan to do, especially now that they now have a lot
Is
of
it my network or your
nice to
network,
fun.
coach?
Man,
Is it your network or
some
mine
that is making noise background.
that is cracking?
I think it's your network.
Oh,
Okay. So
all
it's
right, ma.
better now. It's better now. Oh, it's coming back.
Yes, ma.
I think it's my network. Anyway, let's just continue. So this let me eat his money, let me get money from him is another thing we need to talk to our children about. Need to talk to them about, because it has led a lot of them to do things they didn't plan to do. A lot of them to go the route they never planned to do. At the end of the day, some of them, they are not able to speak up. They are not able to talk. Now, because they have collected money, collected money, collected money, they will not be able to talk. So we cannot really talk about sex education. If you have a teenager, if you have a preteen, you're talking about sex education. We can't talk about it. They're talking about money. Please talk about money, gifts, grooming, a lot of things. Okay, thank you so much, Coach Nando. So we have a topic today that we want to talk about really. Um, Pikin wey wan spoil go spoil. I feel I feel it's an excuse. I feel it's an excuse. I feel it is lazy parenting. I feel it's not doing it is I understand where they come from when they say things like that, but I actually feel that it will not make parents put in their best. Are you there, ma'am? Okay. Before she joins back, you know,
I'm with
I
you, coach. I'm
okay,
with you, coach.
okay, because I saw a post recently. Someone was talking about how the girl got pregnant, and in response to that, somebody said, these children, you can do all everything you can, pikin wey wan spoil go spoil. talking about the parents doing their best and the daughters still going getting pregnant. Yesterday, a visionary parent also reached me. She was talking about um she was sharing the story of Charlie Boy with me. Charlie Boy, that Charlie Boy, according to Charlie Boy's interview, that he was a very stubborn child. In fact, he was one that disowned his parents because he knew that his parents were planning to disown him. He disowned the parents. That his parents, he was always like against his parents. So if the parents want A, he would deliberately want B. The parents want C, he would deliberately want Z. You know, he was all they were always conflicting. So she was trying to say that it wasn't as if the parents were not doing their best, but Charlie Boy just chose to go that route, just chose to be stubborn and all of that. You know, going back to talking about Pikin wey wan spoil go spoil. And I felt now this is definitely an example that many parents will want to use. Oh, after all, his parents were there, they were everything. So what did he want? He said he wanted to go the other way around. That was why he was going the other way around. And when she was because I've not listened to the video, I would like to go into the video myself and jot down my notes. Maybe we'll talk about it another time. But one of the things, because I'm actually looking at doing a few other things in this channel. We're looking at this is a visionary parent class. So I'm looking at maybe we'll move it to Tuesdays. Then we'll have another class on Thursdays, which will be questions parents ask. You know, questions parents ask. We'll have someone like this, like Kojinadu will come. We look at the questions of proper solutions. Then on Saturdays, we'll now have the method team on Saturday. We have the mentorship class for teams. So we're going to be coming live 3 times on YouTube, hopefully. So we are still trying to put structure in place. That said, so she said something that Charlie Boy said he was actually the one that made the move for his parents to eventually accept him. What happened was when he was older, when he now became an adult, one day he just drove down to his parents. He got there and the father was like, "You have come." The father was talking, angry, and all of that. So when he wanted to talk, the father now wanted to interrupt him. Now told his father, "Please, you talked. I gave you time to say everything you wanted to say. Now you have finished saying it. Can I say my own?" And I told that one thing. That is one thing you need to first of all grab from there. All the while, it is possible. Charlie Brown was how revolting. He was not being listened to. He was not being heard. He was not being heard. You know, his parents, because they were educated, they were professionals, they probably wanted him to live that same life they were living.
Yes.
And maybe that was not his kind of life, but his parents were not listening to him. So it was as if they were always forcing him. So at some point, he may have gotten irritated. What is all of this? He would decided to rebel. So when a child does something, you know, when a child does something, it is always a communication. So I'm of the opinion, like she said something. There was something I also told her when I was breaking it down to her. So that I've listened to Charlie Boy before. I remember when he talked about how his daughter reached out to him, that she had something to say to him, and she said, "Okay, go on." And that said, she's into women. She's a lesbian. I remember he said he was heartbroken. He cried. He was so angry. He was asking God, "God, is this what how you want to pay me? Is it my pay for trying to because for the life I have lived? Is it my pay for because?" For a very long time, the average Nigerian believed that Charlie Boy was into men. For a very long time, we believe that even still now, some people still believe he was into men, or rather, he's into men. So the average Nigerian believed that for a very long time because he openly supports them and does all of that. He doesn't hide. He supports them. So he was not saying that God, is this how you want to pay me back? Is this how you might pay for my behaviors and openly supporting these people. You know, the saying that means when you know one, it's not use your teeth, stay cut am. You know, he didn't want that for his children, but he supported the movement and all of that. And as she also told me something about how Charlie Boy traveled abroad, how he made friends with people who were attracted to the same sex and all of that, how they were his major friends. And that was what influenced his dressing style. You know, he's feminine. He's not feminine, but he dresses like a woman. He has a lot of
Yeah.
piercings and all of that. His relationship with people who were attracted to the same sex was what actually influenced his dressing style. And I told her, do you know that it was his dressing style, first of all, that made people think he was into same sex. You know, when I talk about environment, your atmosphere must always reflect your parenting values, your parenting positions, your parenting stand. Unfortunately, his atmosphere did not reflect his parenting values and position. So maybe that was why his daughter got, just that was how the seed was planted in his daughter and it grew, even though that was not what he wanted. Eventually, it was what he got. And guess what? If his parents probably they had been more should I say tolerant, more accepting, more understanding, if they were on the same page with him, he probably wouldn't have been like that. And for all you know, the daughter may have now opened a different pattern in their generation. She may have.
Coach, Coach, let me say this. My understanding about a little is that number one, the environment created it is interpreted differently by children. There are so many things that we may be doing well to our own understanding, but
Yeah.
when children interpret this, the way they will view it might be different. And because I think that's what happened in the case of Charlie Boy here, maybe the way the child interpreted the father's personality may be one of the things that led to what
Yeah.
the child chooses to do. And between Charlie Boy and the parents, one lesson for me is that parents must learn to listen to their children. You know, back then, it is believed that parents must just command
Yeah.
and control the children, as if the children are voiceless, they do not have their own feeling, they do not have their own understanding, they do not have their own belief, they do not have their own purpose. And most of the time, we want these children, or the parents' case now is different. It's different in the sense that the parents are they were successful in their career. So, but they want somebody like a kind of legacy, a kind
Yeah.
of something that outlived them, such that when they are no more, their child
Yeah.
is not taking up what they have lived for. However,
Yeah.
the danger in it is that the child is a different personality with a different purpose that have anything to do with us. So the main thing that we want, the legacy that parents should strive for, is not the one that is about them. And you know, this thing is still all about what we discussed at the visionary parents this morning. It's not about us. Their life is about them. But when we now want
Yeah.
these children to live for us, it becomes an issue. They will rebel.
Yeah.
Some children may not rebel, they will just sink in.
Yeah. To be broken.
They will be broken and they will not become themselves again. And you will just begin to wonder that there is no drive, there is nothing. So I think one of the things that we should just take from the case of Charlie Boy is that, as parents, let's listen to our children. Let
Yeah.
them be them. Let them be them. Yes. Let them be
And
themselves.
yes. So, and I always ask these questions. We always say, "Oh, people will want spoil will spoil." I always wonder, do we really think there's just a child that wakes up in the morning and say, "I want to spoil"? No, I
We
don't
are
think
not
any
we are
child
not
wake.
considering factors. We are not
Yes. So
considering factors.
no child wakes up to say, I want to spoil. No child wakes up to say, I want to get pregnant. No child wakes up to say, I want to do drugs. Or I want to just no child wakes up to do that. So that realization, first of all, should eliminate the thought that pikin wey wan spoil will spoil. No. A lot of things actually happen. A lot of things happen in the process. That one of the things I realize when parents say, "Oh, I have done my best," even when people say this parent has done their best, I want to sit down and ask, it is not about doing your best, it is about meeting your child. You are doing your best, you are not meeting your child, you are not doing anything. It's just like you have a basket. You are going to get water. You will say, ah, I don't fetch water. I don't fetch 20 bowls of water. Yeah, the basket never full. But the basket no one full, now make you no full. You know that you're actually fetching water, but you're not, the basket is not holding it. So it's not picking when one spoil will spoil. You want to understand that no child wakes up to say I want to spoil. There are so
Mm.
many factors. You know, I have a friend, a coach who always says teenagers have a mind of their own. Of course. But you see, that mind they have is influenced by something. Something
Yeah.
is responsible for that mind that they have. They just don't
Mindset.
wake up from one ma.
I said mindsets are built.
Yes, ma'am. They just don't wake up one day and say, no, I just want to go against my parents. Like in the case of Charlie Boy, it's a fight back. It was a fight back. You know, like two captains. Maybe Charlie Boy strong-willed, the parents strong-willed. No one wanted to give way to listen, so they kept fighting. Or the Charlie Boy woke up to say, let me even meet these people. Let me even listen to them. And if he had not taken that step, his father probably they would not have, because he said his father, even his parents lived with him 5 years before they passed. You know, if he had not taken that step, maybe they still would have not have seen each other's eye to eye, been an eye for eye, been an eye to eye before they passed. So no. So if a child is going the other route, I think we should begin to sit down and find out, why is this child going this route? What is happening? I remember one time a parent reached out. The son was stealing. He was stealing. The son was a teenager, stealing a good sum of money. He just finished secondary school. He was stealing a lot. One time they thought he was bored, and because they said he was bored, they had to get him employed in a place, you know, a family member employed him. And guess what? He stole money, over 1 million naira, from that family member who employed him. So when she was telling me the issue, I was asking myself, stealing is not the issue. There is something under that stealing. There is something, you know, there was something that was pushing that stealing. And I got to, when after I said that to the parents, she went back to do an investigation, research, and she came back and said the boy was gambling, he was betting. I said that was it. He wasn't stealing because he wanted to steal. He was stealing because he was betting. And for all you know, the first time he stole, maybe people were betting, said, oh, they were winning money. He wanted, it was not just about bet itself, it was about lifestyle, peer influence. He wanted to have some good things that you couldn't afford. So he was just told you, when you bet, you get money, you buy a lot of things. See, from stealing to betting, from betting to deeper issues, peer pressure, to wanting to live a lifestyle that he was not, that
Sorry.
was more than him. Thank you, ma. For wanting to live a lifestyle that was more than him. That was it. I said that may have been the first time he betted or he went into betting. But after that time, he may have said, ah, I did not make the money. Like in my case, when I was growing up, I would share it to my teenagers in church on Sunday. When I was growing up, my friends in school, they were selling. I had not my friends really. I had some girls in my school. If you've gotten my book, Understanding Your Child, you read the story there. I had some girls in my school that were selling. They were selling things and they were making money. They were just the cool girls. I wanted to be like them, so I wanted also to sell to make money. And I was growing, and like I said I grew up my grandma. So I was in, it was this stealing issue that made me leave my grandma. I was my grandma until I was in like JSS2 or thereabouts. So I also wanted to also get some money to sell so that I could. My intention was not to take the money. My intention was just to go and borrow the money. I saw that my grandma had some money. I said, okay, I will borrow this money. I'll go to the market. I'll buy some articles. I will sell. I'll make some money. I'll return the original money and I'll use the capital to keep trading. I'd already seen myself as a millionaire. Then I'll have so much money. I've seen myself as doing a lot of things with the money I was going to make. You know, I would not even bother my dad for school fees, because back then I think it was Oyego was the governor, and then school fees was about 200 naira, I 2 naira. I don't remember. And my father had 6 children. I always pitied my dad. Ah, how is he coping paying 6 children, knowing that Oyego sometimes will owe school fees for 18 months, and old salary for 18 months. So I was always like, I will not bother them. I will do a lot of things by myself. That was how I want to take the money. Unfortunately for me, I got to school and my friends, they only bought on credit. They didn't pay me because I wanted to sell. I sold on credit. pay me the money now, it became wahala. Nobody, they didn't pay me. So I was not like, how do I now go back? How do I now return the money I collected from my how do I now return the money? Because my grandma was not aware. So I got a very brilliant idea. This time around, you go there, you take more money, you will go and buy the same goods, you will sell. This time around, you don't sell on credit. You will not sell on credit, so that both the profit and the capital, you can return it now. I was not now thinking about becoming a millionaire. I was just thinking of returning the money. And guess what? I took the money the second time. I went to buy articles. I went to sell because I wasn't selling on credit. They did not buy. I wasn't selling on credit. They didn't buy. So eventually, that was it. That was how I got to become a thief. And I always say that maybe it is one of the reasons why I fear selling. I don't have the, when we talk about a lot of things, a lot of who we are as adults today were formed by a lot of the responses, because we are constantly teaching our children. The way you respond to your child, you are teaching your child. The way you don't respond to your child, we are constantly teaching our children. What you allow, you are teaching. That was what happened. Till today, I remember my sister in the US. There was a time she would bring materials for me to sell. At the end of the day, half of those materials, I'll give them out. I'll send her my money. I'll use my money to pay. I'll just do the sum, calculate. I'll send her money. I'll give her the materials. The few I could sell, I would just sell. That was it. Till today, I have not been able to outgrow that, not being able to sell or something, because of the experience I had. So I was telling these parents, now let's investigate. It's not about stealing. I know that children steal, something leads to it. And that was how we investigated. We realized he was betting. He was betting. And from betting, it was because he was being influenced. So again, there is always a factor. There is always a factor. Before, when we say a child that wants to spoil will spoil, or Pikin wey wan spoil will spoil, we're already giving up. When we say this to parents who don't know better, we are telling them, don't put in your effort. Don't put in the right effort. That is the mindset we are giving them. So it makes parents not to put in the effort they are supposed to put. So when your child is doing something that is contrary to your family system, your child is misbehaving, one of the first things you want to do is you want to dig. You just don't conclude. You want to dig to find out what is possibly responsible for this before you conclude. Okay. All right, coach. We are over 1 hour already. The intention was to be 1 hour. We are already over 1 hour. So I hope you have learned today. Remember, this is brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. It's a place you want to be. It's a place you want to be. Someone said my hair is good. I should go back to my new look. I don't get it. Should I retain my new look, or I should go back to my old look? I don't quite understand what you said.
You are saying you should go back to your old look.
Okay. I'll consider it, really. I'll consider it.
And I want to
I've always
encourage our parents to consider registering into the 2026 Visionary Parents Academy cohort. See, one nugget here, not one nugget there, can to be more confused. Yes, I must
Yeah.
say that. At times it will look overwhelming that you will not know where to start from, because whatever we do here, there is a follow-up at the academy. There is something that has preceded it, and you may be missing out of that, and that can make you to even take a wrong decision if you are not in there for the full package. So we do
Yeah.
not want anyone to be confused, because we want you to be fully persuaded about whatever you are doing. We are not here to set you up for confusion, but we want to encourage you that for total and absolute results, because everything we have shared here today, they are process. There is a process to
Absolutely.
it. It is not just one tip or one box that fits into everything. No. So if you are not, you can start your payment now and
Payment
spread
down.
it over the next 6 months, so that it will be much more convenient for you. Thank you. And for our
Yeah.
self-led mentorship class, we are starting on Monday. And you do not want, one of the best thing, best service, best legacy that you can give your children is to be part of this mentorship class. Some of the challenges, the abuses or almost abuse that we share today, if to say that we had a mentor then, maybe our mentor you will have guided us, even if our parents were not there to be able to fill in the gap. Our mentor will have
Yes.
done that. Thank you very much, ma.
That is true. Because the truth of the matter is, as a parent, you don't know everything. There are times you don't know everything, number one. Number two, there are times you are really caught up in genuine hustle. Hey, now your children must eat, you must pay school fees, you must do a lot of things. There are times you are caught up in genuine hustle that you don't remember some things. There are times you are really overwhelmed. Now you need mentor, your children need mentors. My children, they attend mentorship classes. Your children need mentors. Coach Jinadu, her children attend mentorship classes. I remember she had shared a few of them with me that I had to put my son to. In fact, there was one she even paid for my son one time. Thank you, ma. I don't forget. You know, our children need mentors because it is not the time for us to start saying, "Oh, our parents didn't have to do these things, so we are not doing it." Really, really, even if our parents got it right, times have changed. Times have. Did you have tablet that kept you awake all night? That made you go late to school? That made you not want to come to church again? We didn't have all of that. Today we have a lot of orishi things. Our children go online, they hear a lot of things. If you hear what children do every now and then, hoops. If you hear what children do, you sometimes children they don't even want to speak to you. Not because you don't have a connection with them. Somehow they are just more comfortable talking to other people about certain issues, or sometimes they want to get a second opinion. So please, now it is why you just need to have your child in this self mentorship class. Like Jonathan has said also, join us in the Visionary Prince Academy. It is highly, highly empowering. Even if it's only our family talk time series. Ooh.
Mind blowing.
It is very empowering. So thank you so much, Coach, for doing this with us today. We appreciate you. And for everyone, if you have a comment, please, a question or an observation, please leave it in the comment section. If you still want me to continue with this my hair, or you want me to stop and go back to my old wiggy hair, let me know too. Majority wins the vote. My husband is indifferent to it. My husband is kind of indifferent to it. My boys, they think I look funny. My daughter thinks I look absolutely stunning. And for me, I'm not even sure because each time I look at the mirror, I'm laughing. Each time I'm in my bathroom, I just see my dressing mirror, I'm laughing. If I'm going to my closet, I'm looking at the mirror, I'm laughing like because I look so different. So tell me what you think. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. See you next week. Before next week, see you. I hope you will join us in the academy for the class for our children to empower them to understand their self identity. And I do hope you also encourage your children, register your children for the summer mentorship class. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.